Hello, you're watching Sports Birdie, the network dedicated to bringing you the latest and greatest in sports tweets. My name is Paul, and you have tuned into episode number 7 of This Week in Ocho Cinco. And it was a big week indeed. Let me tell you, Chad Johnson got married on July 4th, Independence Day. The man put out 211 new tweets this week, and I think probably 70 of them actually came out on his wedding day, believe it or not. Chad also picked up 22,106 new followers, and it was a very, very interesting week. So let's get it started. First tweet we want to cover here is from Cheryl Minton. This came out to Chad on July 3rd. She tweeted him. She said, "I'm feeling pretty low today. Lost my hubby 2 weeks ago. Together 30 years, very hard." And that's a picture of Cheryl and her dog there up in the right-hand corner. And what does Chad do? He tweets one question back to her. He says, "You have a passport?" And Cheryl responds, "Yes, I do." And Chad says, "Well, hey, can you come and pack and come to the wedding?" And next thing you know, she tweets him back and she says, "Yes, where is it?" And he says, "Check your DM, just start packing. Evelyn will make arrangements. See you tonight/early AM. And if you check this out, this is where Cheryl got to go to, was St. Martin. And I think she's from the Midwest. So this has got to be a big trip for her, a big deal. So you got to give a lot of credit to Chad. Here he is, the day before his wedding, and he's thinking of, how he can help make other people's lives a little bit brighter. So for all the knocks he takes in mainstream media, these are some of the very cool things that he does. All right, next one, we got a tweet here from M. Lozano 9 who says, "What you did for that fan was awesome." And of course, this fan was from Mexico. So Chad tweets him back and he says, "Miguel, I can't get EPN to tweet me back. He has to embrace me, damn it." And so we look at this, and who is EPN, do you think? Well, it's none other than Enrique Peña Nieto, who is the new incoming president for Mexico. Chad is, of course, friends with Felipe, the current president, so he wanted to get a little dialogue, a little discussion going back with the new president who's going to take office in December. So surprisingly enough, Enrique comes on the scene, and we've got the Spanish version up on top here. We've got the English version below. Enrique says, "Thanks, Ocho Cinco, my pleasure. See you soon in Mexico, and good luck, Chad, in the next season." So Chad's got it covered in Mexico. He's got the outgoing president, the incoming president. The man is a man of international affairs. All right, next one comes actually from his wedding day. This is July 4th. He's getting ready to go into the church itself. And he says, "Live tweeting from my wedding. Should be a first, I'm assuming. Music is playing. Can't see my guests right now, but they're here." And then his next tweet comes out, and it's in response to one of his fans, or I guess critics, you could say. And this Fabulous and Fierce says, "I cannot deal with Ocho Cinco tweeting on his wedding day." And he explains this. He says, "Hey, I'm using Twitter as a diversion to keep me from getting nervous." And Chad's a pretty cool customer, right? But check this out. He says, "This is BS. I don't recall setting the butterflies in my stomach an invite. And what am I shaking like Alaska for?" And then here's the funniest part. He ends the tweet with #man down. So, this guy has faced some of the most brutal defensive backs, the brutal defenses in the NFL, and here he's all nervous about walking down the aisle. All right, next tweet from Chad says, "I'm breathing like a pregnant lady in Lamaze class right now. I was hoping continuing to tweet with y'all's support would calm me down." And apparently that didn't work. But here's what he was trying to do to calm himself down. He was actually going through text messages. And here he says, "Going through text messages, Marvin Lewis message making me tear up a little bit, and I haven't even seen the bride yet." And of course, Marvin is his former coach in Cincinnati. Got a picture of them there. They were very tight, kind of had somewhat of a love-hate relationship at times, but very cool to see them maintain that connection afterwards. Now, you think that Chad is the only one in his family on Twitter. Who would think to be so crass as to use Twitter during their wedding day, right? Well, it wasn't Evelyn using Twitter, but it was Chad's daughter, and this is pretty interesting. Jakira says, "Ocho Cinco, we out here, pops." And out here in the church, she means. And Chad tweets back, "Baby, you on Twitter too? Funny stuff. Have you seen Evelyn? Who looks better? Me, huh?" So Chad, always the prima donna, got to worry about his looks and if he's getting outcompeted in that department. All right, last tweet before the man takes his vows here. He says, "Here we go. Proverbs 18:22. I love you guys. If I do it right the first time, I don't have to do it again. Turn up." And that is Chad's last tweet before he goes down the aisle. And that was actually delivered also in a video message. He did a 1-minute video message to his fans just minutes before he marries Evelyn. And he looked a little bit nervous. Chad's a pretty cool customer, as we said, but Looks like that if there's one thing that can shake them up, it's going down to make that lifetime commitment. All right. Next one. Now, this is the interesting part. So Chad just got done with his wedding. He's all set, right? You think he's going to be talking about the ceremony or how beautiful his wife looked, right? Here is what Chad puts out. This is the first tweet that comes out after he is now married. Now he says, I got my wife. Now it's time to get my game back. Coach C, turn up. I'm on the way to L.A. Football season is the honeymoon. So that's where this guy's mind is at. So if you were concerned about getting your football news in this show, it was all going to be wedding dominated. Believe me, we got football coverage here because Chad's mind is now focused on football. All right. Now, Chad goes to the reception, right? And someone tweets to Ocho Cinco, hey, Ocho Cinco, 2 outfits is normal. Anything else is unnecessary in terms of Evelyn making changes, right? Because she changed out of her wedding gown. And Chad tweets back, well, she's on outfit number 4 now, and I'm stuck in this damn tux. I would have thought Chad would have had a number of outfits prepared. All right, next one. Someone asked Chad, it says, hey, that's great, all that stuff, but more importantly, how is Cheryl? Cheryl Minton, your guest that you flew in. And he said she's right here having a ball with both families. And check this out. He says, here's a picture of Chad Johnson and Cheryl. And he's got it right there. And she looks very happy. He looks happy, right? But now check this out. Why did this woman wear a white dress to the wedding? That is a major faux pas. You don't do that. The only woman that's supposed to be wearing white at a wedding is the bride. So Cheryl, man, you're a guest. You got to step up your game. All right. Next tweet here. This is the next morning. Chad says, okay, I've been up since my usual 5 a.m. wake-up time. Entire wedding party guests are still drunk, and I'm assuming since I'm the only one outside. And we've got some tweets now covering some of the post-day activities, the post-wedding day activities. And here Chad says, Mr. and Mrs. Johnson, day 1. Very casual here. Got the tank tops on, and Evelyn's all in her swimsuit looking good. So looks like they're having a good time by the pool. And here we've got a picture. Chad says, look at Evelyn Lozada at the pool party with the dancers. Now, this is his photo. It was blurry like this, but it was pretty awesome. They had dancers come out and entertain the crowd, and Evelyn actually got up there and performed with them impromptu, I guess. All right. And, of course, you know, Chad and Evelyn know a lot of celebrities. Well, who was there? Well, Chad says Mr. and Mrs. Johnson and Tachina Arnold. And if you check this out, she is the actress from Everybody Hates Chris, or if you go way back, Martin Lawrence's show, she was in that. And here's a picture of the 3 of them. So everybody looking good there. All right, moving on. And one of Chad's guests here tweets out to him, Ocho Cinco, stop tweeting and look for my sunglasses, damn it. And Chad tweets back, these glasses? Thanks, but I'll keep them. And apparently looks like a set of Ray-Bans there. So, and look at this. This is what I thought was interesting. You know this is Chad because that's Chad's shoes. But check out that ring. Does that ring not have some serious bling on it? So, and that thing is thick. I wonder if Evelyn got that for him just so that all the groupies know that Chad is now off limits. All right, next tweet here is actually the gentleman who lost his sunglasses. He tweets out to Ocho Cinco. He says, thanks to everything for these past 3 days. And by everything, I mean being able to watch you cry like a baby at the altar. And this comes from Ryan Santoro, who Chad, I believe, met in Mexico in like 2009 when this guy was a high school senior. They hit it off and have been friends since. Now, this is Ryan's girlfriend in that Avi picture with him. And she follows up. She tweets out here to Ryan. She says, shirtless, peeing in public, dancing with hot older women, puking off the balcony, just to name a few of the things that you did last night. So apparently Chad's friends, when it comes down to partying down, I mean, look, you go shirtless, you're peeing off a balcony, you know, dancing with some, maybe some basketball wives, you know, closing the night off with a nice puke. Man, people are getting their party on, that is for sure. All right. Next one comes out, and Evelyn is now on her book tour. This is after the wedding, a few days later. And so Chad sees a picture, and he says, why the F your ring ain't showing? And here is a picture of Evelyn that she tweeted. And check that out. Did you see that? She's got that wrist like bent over. Now, you know Chad paid for a big rock on her finger, right? But why is she going to flip that over? Well, Evelyn has an explanation. She says, hey, shouldn't have went to K Jewelers. Step your game up, right? And Chad replies back with your ugly self. All right. Now we're going to go strictly onto the football portion of the show. And Chad kind of puts this philosophical tweet out there. He said, route running is an art. self-expression, passion. The grass is the canvas, my feet the paintbrush. So I thought, wow, this guy really considers himself not just an entertainer, but an artist. All right, and next one comes from a follower, says, Ocho Cinco, you bringing back the touchdown celebration dances? And he says, using fans as prop so they get in trouble instead of me. So, you know, hey, if you got an 85 jersey on and you're down in the front row, maybe you can get some Ocho Cinco love this season. All right, next one. I thought this was real interesting because, you know, I guess we're looking at Darrelle Revis is supposed to be the shutdown corner for the Jets, the best in the league. And one of Chad's followers tweets him out here and asks him a question. And he says, do you think Darrelle Revis gets away with holding? I watch clips and every one he is grabbing after 5 yards. And I thought this is a good question because Revis is a real physical defensive back, but it does go borderline sometimes. Now, here's what Chad says. He says, quote, he uses the arm bar. And then he clarifies this later. He says, he doesn't hold, but that effort is strong, uses the arm bar to maintain leverage. Looks like he's holding it, but he's not. So interesting commentary there. Gives Revis some credit. All right. Chad puts out a tweet because, you know, the man is trying to get in shape for football season, getting some receiving reps. And here he says, serious question. Is there a QB available to throw tonight in the Miami-Broward area? 5 a.m. route running session. I'll pay for your time. And he puts this out, and within, I think, like an hour, he has 3 really good quarterbacks, really good college athletes, many of which have pro aspirations here, tweet him back. He got a tweet back from quarterback Wesley Carroll from Florida International University, from quarterback Jarrett Brown from West Virginia University. Those two had both graduated, and they're now NFL free agents trying to make a team. And then Chad also gets a tweet from quarterback Ryan Williams from University of Miami. Of course, Ryan wasn't able to help him out because there's some NCAA rules, but these other 2 quarterbacks met up with him at midnight, believe it or not, and they actually had some route running sessions. But that wasn't all who showed up, because one of Chad's fellow Miami Dolphin teammates got a hold of him. And Sean Smith here says, don't leave me out. You need someone to cover. And Chad says, man, bro, I can use the help. Shouting off the press. You don't have to open up. So meaning like, hey, if you just give me some press coverage at the line, then I'll be good. That'll help me work on that. So maybe that's the weak part of Chad's game that he needs to shore up right now is getting off that press coverage. You know, it gets tougher and tougher as you get older. And here is Sean Smith right there. So he showed up to the workout as well. So awesome to see this. I think looks like Chad had a great time at his wedding. Awesome to see him fly one of his followers out there and get a little piece of the Chad Ocho Cinco lifestyle. And finally, it's good to see Chad get ready to put his game in order here and have a great season with the Dolphins. So that wraps it up for the 7th episode of This Week in Ocho Cinco. So stay watching Sports Birdie, and let's look forward to you watching next week. Thanks much. Bye-bye.